Welcome to IT Leadership Hub, where we build better leaders in technology. You started your week with a plan. By 9:15 Monday morning, that plan was gone. A priority one incident pulled you into a bridge call. Developers were blocked, your inbox filled with escalations. Someone from the business side wanted to know why a ticket from last Tuesday still was not resolved. Meanwhile, you still had one-on-ones to prepare, a project status report due by Thursday, and the growing sense that you had not done anything strategic in weeks. Welcome to Information Technology Management. If that sounds familiar, you are not failing. You are experiencing one of the hardest transitions in professional life, the shift from individual contributor to leader. As a senior engineer or technical lead, you were rewarded for solving difficult problems, writing clean code, closing tickets, and going deep. As a manager, the work changes completely. But most people are never given a real playbook for how to manage that change. The good news is this: overwhelm is not a permanent condition. It is a systems problem, and systems problems can be solved. In this video, we are going to walk through a practical framework for time management as an information technology leader, one built for the real world of interruptions, escalations, competing priorities, and constant context switching. Before we get to the tactics, let's be honest about why this role feels so hard to organize. Information technology management lives at the intersection of two completely different worlds. On one side, there is the operational world: incidents, outages, user requests, escalations, and infrastructure issues that demand immediate attention. On the other side, there is the strategic world: team development, roadmap planning, budget discussions, process improvement, and organizational alignment. That work requires sustained thought, planning, and space to think clearly. Most new information technology managers spend almost all of their time in the operational lane, not because that is the best use of their time, but because operational work is louder. It feels more urgent. It gets more attention. Strategic work is quieter. It does not page you in the middle of the night. The result is a manager who is constantly busy but rarely effective. By Friday, they are exhausted, behind, and frustrated that the work that actually builds a strong team never seems to get done. Getting out of that trap requires three things: smarter prioritization, better delegation, and disciplined protection of your focus time. Let's start with prioritization. As an information technology manager, you will always have more work than you can realistically handle in a single day. Your job is not to do everything. Your job is to do the right things. One useful way to think about that is the Eisenhower matrix, which divides work into four categories based on urgency and importance. First, there is urgent and important work. This is where true emergencies live. A production database is down. A security incident is active. A key employee suddenly resigns. These are the things you handle now. Second, there is important but not urgent work. This is where effective managers should spend most of their time: building technical skills across the team, improving documentation, creating runbooks, strengthening your deployment pipeline, developing future leaders, clarifying escalation paths. These things may not scream for attention, but they create long-term stability and effectiveness. Third, there is urgent but not important work. Many meeting requests live here. Many messages live here. Many notifications feel pressing, but do not meaningfully improve results. These tasks usually need to be delegated, deferred, or filtered. Fourth, there is work that is neither urgent nor important. That work should not stay on your list at all. Here is the hard truth many managers discover too late: if you are spending all your time handling urgent and important work, that is often a sign that you have neglected important but not urgent work for too long. Teams with strong documentation, clear escalation paths, healthy on-call structures, and capable engineers generate fewer crises. Prevention lowers the volume of emergencies. So when you think about time management, do not just ask, "What is on fire today?" Ask, "What investment would reduce the number of fires next month?" There is another filter that helps here: impact versus effort. When something is not a true emergency, ask two simple questions: how much impact will this have, and how much effort will it require? High impact, low effort work should move first. High impact, high effort work needs to be scheduled deliberately and protected on your calendar. Low impact work should be questioned before you commit to it, regardless of how fast it seems. Before you accept a meeting, start a project or draft a document, ask yourself, what changes because of this? Who benefits? And how significantly? If you cannot answer that clearly, the task may not deserve your time. Now let's talk about the skill that many new managers resist the most: delegation. This is where the transition into management often becomes emotionally difficult. The reason delegation feels unnatural is simple. You were promoted because you were good at doing the work yourself. You knew how to fix the issue, solve the technical problem, move faster than most people around you, and get things done at a high standard. Now you are being asked to hand work to someone else, someone who may approach it differently, take longer, or do it in a way that is not exactly how you would do it. That can feel uncomfortable. Many new information technology managers struggle to delegate for predictable reasons. Some believe it is faster to do it themselves. In the short term, that is often true, but in the long term, that mindset keeps the team dependent and keeps the manager buried. Some do not trust others to maintain the same standard. That concern can be real, but the answer is coaching and clarity, not hoarding tasks. Some feel guilty assigning more responsibility to the team, but delegation is not dumping work. Done correctly, it is development. People grow when they are trusted with meaningful responsibility. And some managers worry they will lose visibility or control. That is one of the most legitimate concerns, but it also has one of the clearest solutions. Effective delegation follows a simple model: clear outcome, defined constraints, and a scheduled check-in. When you delegate, start by defining what done actually looks like. Do not just assign a task, define success. Does the issue need to be resolved, documented, communicated, and tested? What does complete actually mean? Next, define the boundaries of authority. What can the person decide on their own? What requires your input? For example, they may have full authority to choose the technical approach, but need to loop you in before involving a vendor or changing a production process. Then, set a check-in point. This is what keeps delegation from turning into micromanagement or total silence. A scheduled reconnect gives the team autonomy while keeping you informed. For operational work like tickets, routine escalations, and maintenance tasks, it can also help to build a tiered escalation model. Define what gets resolved at the first level, what rises to the second level, and what truly needs your involvement. If you keep getting pulled into work your team should own, the problem may not be your team. The problem may be the lack of a clear system. Next, let's talk about one of the most undervalued skills in modern leadership: protecting your focus time. Context switching is expensive. The human brain does not truly multitask. It switches between tasks, and every switch costs mental energy. For leaders doing systems-level thinking, planning, writing, decision-making, and people management, those costs add up quickly. Information technology managers are especially vulnerable to this. Between chat messages, email, ticket queues, meetings, walk-up requests, and surprise problems, it is entirely possible to spend a full day working hard without ever getting more than 10 uninterrupted minutes on one important issue. That is not a productivity problem. That is an environment problem. The solution is not to become unavailable. The solution is to become intentionally available. One practical method is calendar blocking that actually reflects the way leadership work gets done. Start by scheduling deep work blocks on your calendar, 90 to 120 minutes, 2 or 3 times per week. Use those blocks for strategic thinking, planning, process design, writing, or any work that requires sustained concentration. Put those blocks on your calendar before other people take the space. Next, create communication windows. Instead of reacting to messages all day long, batch them into defined times. Maybe you check and process communication at 9 in the morning, 12:30 in the afternoon, and 4:30 before the end of the day. Your team will adjust faster than you think, especially when your system is consistent. Then protect recurring team touchpoints. One-on-ones, team syncs, and retrospectives should happen in predictable slots. Predictability reduces interruptions because people know when they will have access to you. And finally, hold a weekly review block. 30 to 60 minutes at the end of the week can make a major difference. Use that time to review what happened, clear loose ends, assess where your time went, and plan the following week. That one habit alone can dramatically increase your effectiveness over time. Now, many managers resist setting communication boundaries because they are afraid it will make them look unavailable, uncaring, or disconnected from the team. That concern is understandable, but constant availability is not the same thing as good leadership. What your team really needs is predictable availability. Tell them clearly, if something is urgent, here is how to reach me immediately. For everything else, I check messages at these times and will respond within a few hours. Then do exactly that. Trust is not built by being accessible every second. Trust is built by being clear, consistent, and dependable. Now let's look at urgency itself. Every information technology manager has to deal with real emergencies. The problem is not urgency. The problem is when everything starts getting treated like an emergency. That is how burnout grows. A simple habit can help. The urgency audit. Before you drop everything for something labeled urgent, ask 3 questions. First, is there direct and measurable business impact right now? A slow dashboard may be inconvenient. A payment processing outage is a true emergency. Second, does this require my involvement or just someone's involvement? Many urgent situations can be triaged and resolved by a capable team member without direct manager intervention. Third, can this wait 2 hours? If the answer is yes, it is probably not an emergency. Put it on your list and handle it in your next available window. This takes discipline, especially when people around you use urgency language loosely. But over time, it retrains both you and your stakeholders to reserve the urgent channel for situations that truly deserve it. And here is an even more important point. The best time management strategy for information technology managers is not just using your calendar better, it is reducing the number of emergencies that reach you in the first place. That means investing in systems that create stability. Even 1 hour per week spent on prevention can pay enormous dividends. Improve monitoring, refine alerting, build better runbooks, cross-train the team, eliminate single points of failure, clarify ownership, strengthen handoff procedures. Every hour spent reducing chaos can save many hours of reactive incident response later. At the end of each week, it helps to ask yourself a few simple questions. Did I distinguish between urgent and important before reacting? Did I apply an impact versus effort filter before taking on new work? Did I delegate at least one task I would have handled myself a month ago? Are my team members growing through increased responsibility? Did I protect at least 2 deep work blocks this week? Did I batch communication instead of reacting in real time all day? Did I respond to true emergencies without treating inconveniences like crises? And did I spend any time preventing future problems instead of only reacting to current ones? If you can answer yes to most of those questions consistently, you are operating like an effective manager, even if the week still felt difficult. And that brings us to the most important idea in this entire discussion. As a new information technology leader, the answer is not to work harder. The answer is to work differently. The habits that made you successful as an individual contributor, being the fastest problem solver, the most responsive person, the one who stayed late and powered through, can actually hold you back in leadership if you do not evolve them. Your job is no longer to be the hero in every situation. Your job is to multiply results through the team. That means choosing systems over heroics. It means investing in quiet, important work before it becomes a crisis. It means trusting your team enough to hand over real responsibility. And it means protecting the mental space required to think clearly, lead intentionally, and build something sustainable. Overwhelm is not your destiny. It is a phase, and with the right approach, it is a phase you can move through. So start with one practical change this week. Block 2 hours on your calendar for deep work. Treat that time as non-negotiable. Protect it. Use it for the kind of leadership work that never gets done when you live in reaction mode. Then observe what changes. Because the clarity you are looking for is on the other side of the chaos. You do not need more hustle. You need a better system. Follow IT Leadership Hub, where we build better leaders in technology.